Welcome back for homework 1.5 part B. Sorry about that. My iPad needed to charge. So here we are again with part B. So in the 21st century, people measure length in feet and meters. So that's what we measure length in now. But in the past, they used to use hands, cubits, and paces. Write an equation to express the relationship between hands and cubits. So we want to see how many hands are in 1 cubit. Well, if there are 9 hands in 2 cubits, right? Let's go ahead and make a chart here. I made too many. Okay. If there are cubits and hands, if there are 9 hands in 2 cubits, that means in one hand. Sorry. All right. Let me fix this completely. There we go. Start over. All right. Hands, cubits. All right, if there are 9 hands in 2 cubits, that means if we have 1 cubit, there's 4.5 hands. So for every cubit, we have 4.5 hands. So we can write our equation as 4.5 times the number of cubits will give us the number of hands. So if we have 2 cubits, we have 9 hands, right? If we have 4 cubits, we have 18 hands. So you plug in the number of cubits, and that will give you the number of hands. All right, now the next one says to express the relationships between hands and paces. So let's go ahead and expand this table a little bit, and we'll have cubits, hands, and paces. And it gives us the fact that there are 5 cubits in 3 paces. Well, we know that there's 4.5 hands in every cubit. So to find out this number of hands here, we would say 5 times 4.5 gives us 22.5 hands. Okay, so in 3 paces, there's 22.5 hands. Now we want to compare cubits and paces. So if we were to say, well, how many hands are in 1 cubit, right? We have 1 and 4.5, which you know, but then how many paces are in 1 cubit? Well, to get from this to this, we divided by 5, right? So we can do 3 divided by 5, which gives us 0.6 or 3/5. So in 1 cubit, there's 0.6 paces. Okay. Now, it's asking us here, though, to compare hands and paces. So we want to see how many hands are in 1 pace. So if I were to make this 1, to get from 0.6 to 1, we would divide by 0.6. So I'm going to do that to each of these and do 4.5 then divided by 0.6, and we're going to get 7.5 hands. We can also do it with the cubits if you want. So 1 divided by 0.6 is going to give us 1.6666666. We'll round it to that, right? And we're looking for the relationship of hands and paces. So 7.5 times the number of paces will give us the number of hands, because there's 7.5 hands in each pace. So if I have 2 paces, then I will have 14 hands, right? So there's more paces per hand than cubits per hand. Or sorry, hands per pace than hands per cubit. All right. Number 3 says the table shows the amount of money A in savings account after M months. Select all the equations that represent the relationship between the amount of money and the number of months M. So we're looking here to see which of these equations match up with this table right here. So A says A equals 100M. So if we were to plug in 100 times the number of months, so let's try it with 5, for example, we should get the dollar amount, and that would give us 500. We do not get 500 when we plug in the number of months, so A does not appear to be correct. Let's try letter B. Letter B says A equals 100 times M, the number of months, so we'll do 5, minus 5. Well, 5 minus 5 is 0, so automatically, that doesn't look like it's going to work. Let's try another one. Let's try C. So A, the amount, we'll do 1,200, minus 700 equals 100 times 5. Again, I'm plugging in dollar amount for A and plugging in M months. So this is 500 equals 500. Ooh, that appears to work. But just to make sure, let's do one more. 1300, let's plug in the next row. Minus 700 equals 100 times 6. This would be, in fact, 600 equals 600. That looks like it checks out. C looks good. So I'm not going to go through each one because you are totally capable of doing that. All you're going to do is continue to plug in numbers from your chart and see if they work. So if you plug in m equals 5 and a equals 1200, which of these equations work? Again, once you do one, go ahead and test another to make sure that you're correct. I'll give you a hint. There's 2 more that you should select, so you need to go through them and check to make sure. Okay? All right. That is it for your homework. Sorry about the weird break in the video because of battery issues. We're going to go ahead and say today's code word is bank. Today's code word is bank since of all this money talk. All right. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.